In short, if you ask me how my journey was, then I would say that it was like one of those roller coaster rides. There were many highs and lows, but overall, it was a great experience, and I have learned a lot throughout this process.
Hey guys, it's Rupal from your ICC Companion team back to you with another episode of Chat with Toppers. So today we are having one of our classmates, Samriddha Deshmukh, and she aims to give both JEE and NEET simultaneously, which an average student can barely think of. So Samriddha, I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, guys. I am Samrida Deshmukh. I am currently reading in class 11. I have taken PCMB as my stream and currently aspire to become a neurologist. I have got 96% in my pre-board class 10 and around 95% in my class 9 board exams. Um, so that's it. That's for my introduction.
Okay, really nice. That was a really nice
Fantastic.
introduction. And so, my first question to you, Samritha, how was your journey like till now? What
Right.
challenges did you face, and what was your journey like in short?
In short, if you ask me how my journey was, then I would say that it was like one of those roller coaster rides. There were many highs and lows, but overall, it was a great experience, and I have learned a lot throughout this process.
So at some point of time you were an average student, right?
Yes, around in class 6, I have got around 92 to 93%. So you
That's
can
really
tell
good.
me as one of those average students.
That isn't average at all, but still. Okay, Rupal, you go
But
on.
it's all right. So, Samrita, my next question is quite unique that not all the students, like among if you take among 500, only one student aims at giving both JEE and NEET. So, why this decision? Why you decided to give both JEE and NEET?
Okay. So this decision has a lot of backstory to it, and if I dive into that, then I have always been curious about studying various type of sciences, and I absolutely love all of them, whether maths or biology. Thus, eventually, I have decided to take these four subjects, that is the PCMB combination for my junior college education, and I would like to opt for both JEE and NEET. This is the reason.
So, my next
That's
question to you is that in this regard only, just what you said, in this regard only, what if you crack both exams? So, you are getting a seat in IIT also, and you are getting a seat in AIMS also. So, then what will you do? What will you choose?
that's it.
I have already told you that I aspire to become a neurologist, and so I will obviously go for NEET. And I have, you may ask me that why I have given JE at that time. Then I would say that JE is a type of exam where you face a lot of competition, and I am just opting for that examination because to face this competition, to face the real world. I think this is the way in which I can grow more.
So, you have an
That's why
All
I
right.
selected.
IISc or and ISERS as an option. So, if you want to
Yes.
study applied sciences, you can obviously go for them. So, yeah,
Hmm.
I think your reason was perfect.
So, Samrita, my next question to you goes like you are exceptional in your extracurriculars. Like you are good at extempo speeches, you were good at essays, spelling competition. You took part in all the competition, like singing, recitation, and you were also very good at the study. So, how did you maintain the balance between extracurriculars and studies simultaneously?
Well, for me, I prefer to do everything with full sincerity and focus, and I just shift myself to a different mood when opting for different things. One more thing I would like to advise all my juniors is that do whatever you're doing with love and concentration. Attach your emotions to it, and you don't have to be an all-rounder. Mark my words. You don't
Yeah,
have to be an all-rounder, but whatever you do, just do it with full concentration, sincerity, and love. That's all.
Okay, nice.
that is a really good answer.
So, yeah, I'm giving a short story here. whenever we used to have our media exam competitions, like mid-yearly competitions in our school, every year when the prize distribution used to happen, Samrita used to carry around 8 to 9 trophies like this, and she used to come
Like
at the
my
class,
ears,
and
like
yeah,
Samrita, like
yeah,
my
yeah,
ears
yeah,
were burning.
exactly. Like when the teacher used to announce the prizes, it went like recitation first prize, Samrita Deshmukh,
Samrita
singing
Deshmukh.
first prize, Samrita Deshmukh, and it went on like that. So yeah, I think uh, a student needs to do everything with maximum priority. You should give your priority your studies also. You should give your priority to extracurriculars also. So that's a really nice thing. So Samrita, my next question to is that you have I think you have seen a lot of students, actually a lot of parents also, they force their kids from a young age to study for these competitive exams like JEE or NEET or any other competitive exam as such. So I have recently seen one documentary also. In the documentary they portrayed that a family member, a parents, their family income is around 3 or 4 lakhs per annum, max to max. I don't remember the exact figure, but it was approximately 3 to 4 lakhs. And they are enrolling their sons from class 7 to a coaching institute, which is worth 1 lakh per annum. Do you actually think we should prepare for these competitive exams from a young age and invest that much amount of money in these coaching exams? What is your opinion
From
on that?
lower grade.
Yeah.
Okay, before starting this discussion, I would like to say that uh, कुछ दिनों पहले मैंने YouTube में एक वीडियो देखा था जहाँ पे एक 9 साल के बच्चे को ग्रेजुएशन मिल रहा था. So I would like to say that if you really like studying, then you should go for all these things. We should not force any person to do anything. That's the basic rule for everything. If you really want to achieve academic excellence, then you can start early. And by early,
Like
I
Samrita,
mean
it's
8,
from
9,
too
10.
much lower grades, no?
No, no.
Like it's parents are enrolling their kids to coaching from 5, 6 standard, where the science field is not basically
Yeah,
introduced to
they are
them
just
properly.
exposed to science. So from
Yeah,
that age
yeah,
only,
yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't think students should start preparing for these JEE exams. Also, the
That's my question.
scenario are pointed right here. They were earning just 3 to 4 lakhs per annum, and 1 lakh per annum just for the child's education is so much of a burden for them. They are middle class people. To be honest, they are lower middle class people. They don't have that much money to actually support their child's education in that magnificent way. So my point is, do you actually think that these low or middle class families or middle class families will actually invest this much amount of money in their child's education? My point is that.
If I would like to say that if a child really, if he or she really wants to achieve academic excellence, then they can do this one. But we should not force anyone. Suppose if that child likes to play or do any other thing, then they should just relieve that child from that thing. But suppose that child wants to crack JEE or NEET and he wants to go there in that coaching center, he just wants to go there and study, then I think it's a good decision to do that. Here, I don't think that money would matter for the parents. If the
No,
child wants
I
that
completely
thing,
respect
then it
your
would be
opinion.
I
much better.
completely agree.
Opinion differs. Opinion differs completely. I respect that. Okay, Rupal, you go on with your next question.
So, Samrita, in our previous video, we asked Disha for what strategy she did follow. So, I'm going to be asking the same question that what strategies you followed because the strategies cannot be same, right? It has to be some difference in it. So, what strategies you followed personally?
Okay. First of all, I would like to say that I have never really aimed for a certain percentage. I've always aimed to do my best in everything. I have given my best in everything, and I just want to do that for my whole life only. And for strategies, suppose a teacher is teaching you chemistry in tuition, or maybe school, then I would suggest that go through that chapter at that moment only. Just after the teacher leaves, just go through that chapter. And so if you can, then solve some questions too. It will give you some confidence next time. So, and one more thing that I used to do was I used to map my whole year. I used to distribute each month strategy. Suppose,
Whole year.
yes, whole year. I in class 10th, I aim to complete my whole class 10th syllabus by October. And I have done that. So suppose in physics, you have a chapter which is known as current electricity, and you you will just mark out some. You will just put some tables in front of you in your study table that by September or from 1st to 15th September, I will complete current electricity. I have read in this way only, and
I
I think if you really want to do something, this is the best way only
okay.
to map everything, plan everything beforehand.
That was really helpful.
And yeah, what were the books or resources that you followed personally? If you'd like to name
Uh,
something.
uh, Throughout my journey for science, I would recommend concise physics, the concise physics, the concise biology. They were good. For chemistry, I would like to suggest Dalal.
Hmm.
For history, for history and geography, the total history and total geography were a lot of help. And for literature, you have that usual treasure trove.
Yeah, Treasure Trove and
That's the yes.
and any guidebooks that you followed for Treasure Trove and Marcha de Venice?
Any
No,
workbook?
no, I never follow guidebooks because it hampers your creativity. According to
Hmm.
my opinion, it hampers your creativity. They just write some of the answers and you just have to mug all of them and write it all in the exams. That does not suit me at all. That's why I used to mark my own answers. I used to write them using my own creativity.
And any YouTube channels you followed as such in your preparation?
Yeah, I used to follow Vedantu and Unacademy a lot. They were a lot of help. The teachers were really good. They're really good.
Physics.
But
It's
I
you
think
didn't follow physics wala.
yeah, I like the channel, but it was only for physics. I used to follow him only for physics. The rest, you can understand what I mean to say.
Yeah.
He was on, yeah.
Exactly. There's a story behind physics wala I would like to tell. Whenever
Hmm.
our exams used to happen, like uh, day before physics exam, I used to just binge watch every other physics wala video of class 10. I mean,
Hmm.
I used to put them in 1.5x speed and I used to just binge them from start to finish. I mean,
Taman,
physics wala was really helpful for me. Yeah. Yeah, Rupal, go on.
Taman, I want to share one of my experiences with me. Experiences regarding me that it was physics examinations of our offline pre-board examinations, right?
Yeah.
So before about 1.5 or 2 hours earlier, before going to school, I am watching how to solve current electricity numericals. I was watching physics
Lol.
wala.
And
How to solve that.
our pre-board physics exam was plundered, to be honest. Everyone got less marks, as far as I know.
Everyone.
Everyone, and I will not name the teacher, but our physics teacher, if you're watching this, you could have given us a bit of more marks. We could have shown a little bit of more marks in our actual result, but okay, let's not talk about
Right?
that.
Like after seeing the marks, I was in depression. Like physics this much, I do not
Yeah,
deserve
yeah.
this.
I think I shouldn't actually enclose or disclose my marks in front of you guys, but actually I got around 67 out of 100 in my physics exam in three boards.
I got 51 out. No, I got about
And
61 out of 100 in
every
physics.
one of them living, obviously the toppers, Samrita and Trisha managed to get around 95 plus also. I don't know how. Most of the questions were out of
I
syllabus
don't know.
only.
I don't know. After getting the answer sheet, whenever I was approaching them, they were like, yeah, it was easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
95 percentile.
I just saw the answer script and everything was marked incorrect. I was just out of my mind. What did I do? I was just out
Yeah,
of
the
my
questions
mind.
were a bit tricky.
Yeah,
I
to be
must say
honest, they were
that the
tricky. Yeah.
questions were a bit tricky.
So, Samantha, in this era of technology, social media has played a great part, right? the social media has played a great part. Our life is basically centered around social media. So, what do you think, with the perspective of the students, is social media a boon or a curse? In the perspective of the students.
Quite a debatable topic, Rupal. I would say for a student, social media is not an important thing for us. Uh, and it completely depends on the users. Let me share something personal. In September 2020, I was a social media addict. I used to handle WhatsApp and Instagram for about 7 to 8 hours per day.
7 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah,
We are social
seven to
media
eight hours
addicts,
per day.
and we handle it for like 2 to 3 hours per day. 7 to 8 hours is a lot. Okay, Samrita, go on.
So it used to affect a lot in my studies as well as my health. So I downloaded some apps which would restrict my use after a certain period of time. And I would say that they have helped me a lot, and I have reduced it to the daily usage of 1 hour now. I use my phone for 1 hour per day.
Throughout the day.
Yeah, throughout
And,
the day, I use my phone, computer, or laptop for 1 hour.
and what about your classes?
Classes, I don't consider them as using the social media. But like WhatsApp, Instagram, and other songs, I really like listening to songs, and now I have reduced them to 1 hour
So,
total
Samrita,
usage time.
that's a lot. From 6 to 7 hours to just 1 hour a day is quite a bit of slope type thing, going downwards. Right.
I have not done it in one day, dear.
Ah,
Yeah,
It was
it
September
can't be done in one
2020.
day. It can't be done in one day.
it can be done in one day.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Good job. Good job.
Good job. So, Taman, next question to you.
So, Samrita, my next question to is that nowadays these techniques like Pomodoro technique or any other study technique is getting very popular, and everyone is trying to actually use it. And do you think for you or any other students like you, it is actually efficient or not? The Pomodoro technique.
Um, I have never, I have never used that technique personally. So I really can't suggest anyone anything uh, after hearing this. I would like to say that if you have a desire within yourself that I have to study, I have to do this, I have to achieve success, then these techniques are not necessary. You will automatically plan your future.
Like Samrita, to be true enough, I personally once tried the Pomodoro technique. The problem is with the Pomodoro technique is it basically hampers the flow of the study. Like if you're planning to study for 1.5 or 2 hours at a stretch without taking any breaks in middle, so I guess that it's effective for some, but it's not effective for the others, according to me, because it didn't work out quite well in the case of me.
Okay, okay. I would like to add something. So, what's the Pomodoro technique? Pomodoro technique is basically you study for 25 minutes and you take a break of 5 minutes. But what you can do is you can customize it according to your study span, not lifespan. Sorry, according to your study span, according to your concentration span. So, what you can do, let's say you have a concentration span of 50 minutes. You can study continuously for 50 minutes and then you can customize it and you can take a break of 10 minutes, or else you say you have an attention span of 90 minutes. You can study for 90 minutes and then you can take a break of, let's say, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So you can obviously customize it. It's not like that you have to stick to that 25 minutes only. But yeah,
Hmm.
so that basically what I'm trying to say.
It is really an effective way to study, but you should not break your study pattern like that. For example, each person has a specific concentration span, and suppose I can study for at least 2 hours at a stretch, and if I follow that technique, I guess that technique says that the minimum concentration span is for 45 minutes, right?
In average, it's around 50 minutes, 55 minutes.
But you
That
can
varies.
extend that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different person have
Uh,
different attention span.
Everything has its pros and cons, right? one can follow that technique, but the problem is there are few students who would think that break as a reward, and they will start using their phone, and they would not know that how their time has spent. For example, if I read for 2 hours and think, okay, now it's the time to take some break, I'm using my phone. I will say my mother that, okay, I'm using my phone for 5 minutes, and after that, I find that I have used it for 1 or 2
I
hours.
think there's
That's
a
a
meme.
very
I
normal
think
thing.
I think there's a meme around this thing. I think you all remember in where book is spread out, and after each pages, the guy or the girl has
Yeah,
inserted a piece of chocolate
chocolate.
in it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
Ah,
I've seen it.
if
yeah.
I find the meme, I will put it up in the screen. But yeah, so there's a meme around it. Very good meme. So okay, yeah, Rupal, you go on with your next
Ah,
question.
so Samrita, my next question goes like everything in nature has its own strong points and weak points,
Hmm.
respectively. So, what were your strong points, and means in which subjects you were strong at, and which subjects you were weak at?
I will say one word, and that's the answer for both of them.
Yes, if
Uh,
we find it.
Maths.
You're good at maths.
Mathematics
We,
You're
was
weak at
the
maths also.
no.
weakest math
I
also.
was weak at maths, but
Yeah.
now I am strong at maths.
And whom do
This
you
defines both the
give the
things.
credit? Whom do you give the credit?
No, I can't give the credit to anyone. All my teachers and my
Okay.
friends.
Okay. No problem.
That's good. That's good.
So, Samriddha, any type of time management tips that you would like to give to your juniors?
There are a few people who ask me that, is studying at morning effective or at night? I would say morning. I used to start my day at 5 a.m. Then
5 a.m.
yeah, 5 a.m. And from 5 to 8, I did some mathematics. After that, I started to do all the homeworks. Okay. From 8 to 10, I did all the homeworks. After that, I took a break for breakfast and all, and then started to attend my classes. After that, as this was basically my routine. After that, I used to take a nap. You shall say it a power nap, as most toppers say.
In the
And after
afternoon
that,
time.
from 5 to 10, a stretch of study from 5 to 10.
Five
That's
hours
how
at a
I
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah.
my routine was.
Samrita, according to you, what is the traditional way of studying? Like offline or online? What do you prefer the most, according to your opinion?
I would prefer online learning because personally it has changed my life. In traditional way of learning, we used to travel to our tuitions. हम लोग 1-2 घंटे तो शायद ट्यूशन में जाने के लिए बिता देते थे दोस्तों के साथ
It was time
थोड़े.
consuming.
हाँ, टाइम कंज्यूमिंग भी था, और या थोड़ा घूम फिर लेते हैं दोस्तों के साथ, ऐसा कुछ था. मगर ऑनलाइन लर्निंग में हम लोग को सिर्फ एक ही चीज में फोकस करना होता है. There are problems in online learning too. You tend to get distracted a lot. You can do
Exactly.
WhatsApp or Instagram during our classes, but you should control yourself from that, and that's all. But I prefer online learning because you don't have to travel, you don't have to go anywhere. No natural calamities in the
So,
way.
so you don't miss your school like we used to have.
Obviously, I miss
I
my
am
group.
seeing a frame just behind you in your wall. There's a
Yeah,
frame
Yes,
of I am also in there. Rupal is also in there, and our
yeah.
class teacher is also in there. So yeah,
our beloved sir.
yeah. So the answer just she gave right now. It's the generic answer every introvert gives. If we ask him or her, then what do you prefer, traditional learning or online learning? Because in traditional learning,
So
we
I
have to
prefer
go to some
online learning.
place. Yeah,
Hmm.
If interviews were honest, no, I'm guaranteeing you. Like if I ask Samrita that, Samrita, what do you prefer the most, traditional or online? Samrita will literally say that I prefer online classes because I'm an introvert girl. I don't talk with others that much. That's the reason why I chose
no,
choose to.
that I
That's the
think
reason
I
too.
think I have this question I've asked to many students, and every introvert I know, every introvert student I know, give this question, this answer only. That I don't prefer traditional way of learning. I have to go to the classes. I have to waste time on the transport. Ah, these were the points stated by all of the students. Okay, Samridha, my next question to is that in ICSE हम लोग के बोर्ड में ये स्टूडेंट्स बहुत ही कंफ्यूजन में होते हैं कि हम लोग के पास 5 ऑप्शन होता है आईसीसी में इन द कंपोजिशन, इंग्लिश कंपोजिशन. So they are in confusion. They have the narrative one also, they have the descriptive one also, they have the story writing also, they have the I guess argumentative essay also. So among this 5, तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि स्टूडेंट अगर ये पर्टिकुलर एक ऐसे करे, ऐसे टॉपिक को अटेंड करे, तो सबसे ज्यादा मार्क्स मिल सकता है एक स्टूडेंट्स को?
मेरे हिसाब से अगर हमको वही टॉपिक चूज करना चाहिए जिसमें हम लोग अपना पूरा इमोशंस दे सकते हैं. And personally, I can give my full emotions in the descriptive type of essays. If someone feels that they can express themselves in the argumentative essays, then they can surely give it. But descriptive में क्या होता है, हम लोग को अपने 5 सेंस ऑर्गन्स को डिस्क्राइब करना पड़ता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल विलेज लाइफ, तो मैंने क्या देखा, मैंने क्या सुना, तो उसमें बहुत सारा कंटेंट आ जाता है बहुत इजीली. तो हमको ज्यादा सोचना नहीं पड़ता है, इसीलिए मार्क्स बहुत जल्दी अच्छा आ जाता है. So that would be my advice for the junior.
I think narrative or the descriptive one is the safe way to go. And if you have strong points, if you are good at writing, then you can obviously attend the argumentative one also, or the story one also. Obviously, I personally wrote the story one. I always write the story essay, because I feel whenever I'm given something to write on a topic, I can change it according to my likings and according to the thinking I have in my mind. Like I can create a whole another story from just a single line or just a instruction. So that was my opinion.
मैंने एक और स्ट्रैटेजी यूज किया था, वो था कि सपोज आई एम गिविंग द आईसीएसई बोर्ड एग्जाम्स, एंड I always thought that what type of teacher, I just guessed that which type of teacher would be checking my copy. And I have realized that around 90% of the teachers are middle-aged. So whenever I write my essays, I just add some basic human emotions in it. So that I think in that way, the reader would connect with my essay, and I can easily get some marks on that.
So you're writing the essay according to the teacher's feeling.
Yeah,
obviously to score the teacher, at the end of the day, the teacher is going to only mark us mark the essay, right? So you have to write it accordingly, or else you won't be able to score marks. You have to know first what type of teacher is going to evaluate your essay. And also my request to Jerry Arathun sir, please recruit some young aged people in the ICP team to check the board paper, because Samrita has a problem with it.
We are reading the same school. Don't say.
No, I am asking to Jerry Arathun sir, not to our school principal.
Yes, sir, Jerry Arathun sir, if you can recruit some of the
young teachers or young age people, yeah.
But you surely can. We will provide the address in your Gmail. You just check it. So, Samrita, we have came to the end of this interview. So I'm going to be asking you a last question. So this question we ask to each and every topper. We have interviewed only one topper. That's an exceptional case. My last question is the tip that you would recommend to our chota juniors, our viewers.
Recommendation, okay. मेरे सारे भाई बहनों के लिए यही मुझे यही बोलना है उन लोगों को कि जो अगर तुमको सक्सेस पाना है ना, तो बस उससे तुम शिद्दत वाला प्यार कर लो.
She is sounding like Aman Bhaiya. I sense Aman Bhaiya bhai bhi nahi hai. But that's all right.
Aman
Okay.
Bhaiya opening the
He
chat.
has been my motivation.
Yeah.
He has been
He's
my
a
motivation, really.
yeah. He's a mentor for everyone, I guess. Yeah.
So
So
yes,
I'm
the
telling you,
word
if you really love something, if you really love something, then you will not need any advice or any motivation from any other person. You will automatically have this drive within you that I have to do this within 1 or 5 years, and I'm sure you will succeed in your field.
that's absolutely a word.
and also if you want to connect with Samvidha, we will have her Instagram link in the description below. So obviously you can connect with her and
So you can connect with Samrita,
yeah,
right?
obviously, I
So guys,
think yeah.
we come at the end of this interview. So thanks for watching. So as the previous video I've said, do subscribe, comment, and like the video, and do follow us on our Discord, Instagram, and Telegram. So thank you. Bye bye.
And everything's link will be in the description below. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.
ভাই আমার খাতা
করবো,
ভরে গেছে
আমাকেই করতে
literally।
বল, আমি কি করবো?
তোমার মরা মুখটা দেখাও।
আমার বাবা মুখটা দেখতে হবে। আর সাবরিতা ইংলিশটা একটু ভালো করে বল ভাই। তামান আর পারছি না কতগুলো কাট
এই দাঁড়া হার্টসের ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডটা রাখি, হার্টসের ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডটা।
ইয়েস
জয় স্কুল ক্যাপ্টেন, জয় স্কুল ক্যাপ্টেন।
জয় জয় স্কুল ক্যাপ্টেন।
Meanwhile.
জয় স্কুল ক্যাপ্টেন। নমস্তে। তামান your Bermuda is visible. Oh my god.
Well, for me, I do everything with sincerity and focus. And one more thing that I would like to say, that
कौन है ये लोग? कहाँ से आते हैं ये?
I have always been thinking-
थांबा